just for my radio station. Talk to me a little bit about Michael Jackson, because we play a whole lot of Michael Jackson on the radio station, and they'd be really upset.
Man. I never saw nothing weird except Bubbles, man. That was kind of weird. But the first time we actually met was on the McCartney duet.
Right.
And I was mind-fucked to meet Paul McCartney, because the Beatles are the reason why I play music in the first place. And him and Linda were awesome. And then he came in, he was great. We started jamming I Was Made to Love Her, that Stevie Wonder song. And that created the energy of the sessions. And Paul took a shine to Jeff and me and hired us to be in his movie. And we hung out with them and talked. And it was like one of the best days ever. And Quincy was there. And I was doing all the Quincy stuff at the time. I did the Dude record right before that. Some of the guys in TOTO did Off the Wall. I think Dave and Steve. I didn't get there at that point, but David Foster turned me on to Quincy, and I did like 5 or 6, 7 records in a row with him. Learned a lot. And we're still friends. I saw him at the Montreux Jazz Festival. We sat down, and all he wanted to talk about was how much he was getting laid in his 80s.
Well, he's got a hot broad too these days.
You gotta love a cat. It's all about the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sex and money.
Yeah. Talk about Beat It really quickly. What kind of guitar did you use on that track?
I used my 59 Burst.
Oh, wow.
A Fender amp. I did it originally through this big stack of Marshalls, but then Quincy called me and said, "It's too much, man. We got to get this on R&B radio, man. Use one of those little Fenders you got." So I had to back off the distortion a little bit because I knew Eddie was on it. I'm like going, "Come on, man. I gotta make this fucking rock for Ed, you know?"
Yeah.
I played bass on it too, and Jeff played drums. It was really complicated to put it back together because there was no click track, and someone cut the tape for Ed. I thought it was his original engineer, Don Landy, but they said there was somebody else there. And Bruce Swedeen knows better, so I don't know what the real story is, and I don't know if I'll ever will. But as far as I heard, they cut the 24-track tape, and with the SMPTE code, you can't sync up the tape to the master reel. And the master reel had Eddie's first-generation guitar solo, Michael's quintupled lead vocal, all comped and ready to go, which they were not ready to go through. Do that again. They wanted that first-generation sound as much as you could when you have that many vocals. But and him banging 2 and 4 on a drum case just to make a weird backbeat noise and bleed through his headphones singing. So we had to make the record backwards. And so Jeff went out and made his own click track, listening to cranking it up really loud to hear how the song kind of with the 2 and 4 from Michael, because there was no click track. So he had to make his own with drumsticks, and only Jeff could do stuff like that.
So even like at the beginning of that song,
he got it right away, and he went out and played his part, got the drums on it.
Yeah.
So the drums matched with the vocal and everything like that. Then I started adding the guitars. I added a whole shitload of guitars. I did the bass part because I said, well, I might as well get it all out of the way at once and send it to him. And then I went over and worked out all the other rhythm parts with Michael and Quincy in the room. So it's a pretty complex thing. It's in my book. You got to read my book, The Gospel According to Luke. See, I have shameless plug. Number one on Amazon.
You can't beat that. So, just really quick, talk about that story, because you said that Quincy wanted you to use, something less distorted because Ed was on there, but he also told the story that he actually had to reduce the amount of distortion on Ed's tone after the fact. But how do you do that?
Do that in 1982. I don't know. I mean, I think they wanted me to tone it down so it sounded less metal and more. There was an acceptable amount of distortion you could get on pop records.
Yeah,
and I was always the guy they called for that shit. But if you double it, it sounds cool. But I gave them what they wanted. I mean, who knew it'd be the biggest record in history? We did. Human Nature was basically a TOTO song that Steve Porcaro wrote that we did with Michael singing.
Right.
And that made the cut. We did that, and we did the duet with McCartney, which was fun.
Yeah.
Silly, but fun. It was a positive experience for me. I didn't see any weirdness, that you read about, but, I wasn't around. We were the same age. Yeah. He knew I had a weird sense of humor because I did overdubs with it. I'm a smartass. I'm the same person for my kids' teachers, you, me, anybody.
Yeah.
That's just who I am. So I don't edit my material too much. So some people get freaked out by that. But
Hey, it's
Not
all
you.
right up my alley.
Yeah, I heard that. I got your vibe, man.
You know.
Well, thanks for having me, dude.
Yeah, dude, I'm very stoked. You know, I got your transition DiMarzio neck pickup in one of my guitars, and I
Really?
love.
What do you think?
Oh, I love it. It's really cool.
All right, great.
Yeah, I dig that. New solo album, I Found the Sun. It's coming out on February 26th. You can pre-order it now. It's available wherever music is sold. Are you planning on selling albums? There's going to be CDs, vinyl of this, or is it just go streaming on Spotify?
It will be in Europe and Asia. It won't be here.
Mm.
I mean, I can't find a record store. I think Amoeba might have it.